When your wife points out other men and it feels like she's rubbing it in, she's not. She's teaching you something that you haven't been hearing any other way. When she points out other men, she's pointing out actions. When you point out women, you're pointing out attraction.
It doesn't matter how much you dress it up, you're still comparing. Describe, let's talk about it.
When your wife points out other men and it feels like she's rubbing it in, she's not. She's teaching you something that you haven't been hearing any other way. When she points out other men, she's pointing out actions. When you point out women, you're pointing out attraction. Those are two completely different categories. When she tells you that her husband's friend texted her on a random Tuesday just to tell her he was thinking about her when she was at work, or when the guy at the kids' game showed up early so he could help set up the chairs, she's not telling you that to make you feel small. She's showing you a behavior that she tried to describe with words but couldn't get through. So now she's using a visual aid. Her hope is that you will see the action and recognize what she's been asking for, because she ran out of language for it months ago. But most husbands don't hear it as teaching. They hear it as a comparison and they get defensive. The defensiveness shuts down the lesson and she goes quiet again. And now she's lost one more way to communicate with you. She's not rubbing it in your face. She's using the one language she has left that you haven't learned to tune out. And the man who hears the examples as instruction is the man who stops needing examples.
You probably need a man on your team if this is like your operation, if this is like the thing that you do to talk to men about how you should be feeling, how you should take this. And when you do it, it's completely wrong. It's complete evil. It's attraction. But it's when she's doing it, she's instructing you, she's teaching you. It presupposes that this is the position of most marriages. And it makes sense, given that back in the day, in generations before mine, it was very much that. The wife set the tone. The wife was the manager of the house. She told you what actions were permissible and what was not. She dictated whether or not this was a good marriage, a healthy marriage, a happy marriage. Even when you went to couples therapy, it was still very much based upon what she was saying. She was the judge and the prosecution of your actions. So therefore, if you did not measure up, then there was something inherently wrong with you. You still see the echoes of that in how we look at relationships today, that it's through that feminine lens, through that feminine sort of court, that if you don't do this, then something is wrong. Think about when you're going on a date. What determines whether or not this was a good, healthy, great date or a bad date? Well, bad dates are typically the fault of the man. Good dates are typically due to the woman being so engaging and so amazing. It's never really attributed that, hey, what you're saying doesn't resonate with men, how you're saying it doesn't resonate with men, or you may be an awful person. Right? All these categories are absolutely true. But when you start comparing men to other men, yeah, you're gonna lose us all the time. You say it's our attraction, but when we do it, it's absolutely attraction. So when we say, and I hate using the well, when we do it, but this is the context. This is the crux of this entire argument. When I say to you, his wife writes him notes in his lunch bag, leaves him notes just saying she's thinking about him. That's attraction. It's essentially saying you want to find a new way to critique. I ran out of words to tell you how unhappy I was with your behavior. So now I'm going to show you examples of the behavior that I think you should go be with him. Go be with him. Even if you want to say this response, this dance is unhealthy. You are constantly walking down a path that does not work. You compare your man to some other man, especially compare your man to an ex, which you see all the time. That's a phenomenal way to lose him. That's a phenomenal way to lose him, because it says this: everything else that you're doing, shut it down. It's unimportant. That is the thing that I need you to fix. When you have these conversations with men, it's really in a way that is soft, that is nurturing, one that acknowledges the effort that man has been doing in your life currently. It's usually, what have you done for me lately? When now you draw comparisons to another man, it's the same thing, the same way you feel when he starts drawing those same comparisons with another woman to you. When he holds you to this standard, And especially if it's someone you know, someone you could reach out and touch, that's when you see how your insecurities flare up. But at that point, it's attraction. He could be very well telling you, I talked to such and such. I talked to the husband. I talked to this boyfriend over here, such and such boyfriend. He told me this thing that his woman does, that's amazing. Nothing to do with attraction. It has everything to do with the person's character. He told me the way she talks to him is so uplifting. Is that attraction? Or is that simply saying, now I'm giving it to you, and you'll now obsess over her. You'll go crazy over her, thinking, well, what is it about her? You'll say the same things. At this point, when you confront people like this, people are supposed to be your partners, people are supposed to be your loved ones, and you confront them in this sort of manner, they're always now going to compare their entirety to that person. They're going to go and look and go down that rabbit hole. Wise men, wise people understand, at that point, I'm checking out. I'm not going to be constantly held to some other person's rubric when you only see a slither of an activity, a slither of their life. Now I'm responsible to living up to that standard. The issue is, you never, when you just get this glimpse, you don't see what inspires that glimpse. Just the same way, the guy climbing the Empire State Building, and women are saying, well, look at all that effort. Why aren't men doing that? And you ignore everything else what actually happened in their life. You know nothing about that person. You know nothing about their relationship. You know nothing about any toxicity. That could be one of the worst relationships you've seen to date, but you don't know. All you see is the outward expression. That's it. You see the guy that shows up early to set up chairs for some event, he could be beating the snot out of his wife at home. Realistically, the more you compare yourself to outward things, the more you're going to be unhappy. It's easy for you now to jump to another thing, another person, another concept. There's always going to be someone doing something better or at a higher level than you, myself, anyone else. That's the nature of the game. Even if you're at top for moments. You're the best at something without you knowing every single person on this planet. It's for moments. There's always going to be someone better at something, some aspect that you're doing. But when we are constantly not happy with the bulk of our life, you're not happy with 80% of the thing your partner is doing, then yes, even 1% outside of that 80 is going to look critically important. So you ran out of words and ways to say this to your husband, to your partner. Find more words. Rather than think, okay, let me use a technique that's sure to upset him. It's sure to upset him. Sometimes your frustration in not being heard, not being addressed, or not having the thing that you've been talking about take top priority in that person's life. So you seek ways to subtly hurt him. You become passive aggressive. You show, yeah, but his wife, Donna's wife, does this. Donna's husband does this for her, and then look at you. Then you get to see, okay, that hurt him where that got his attention, and all in the hopes of, okay, now he's listening. No, now he's plotting his escape. Learn how to better talk to people rather than instructing people to men to get over when someone insults you, when someone draws a comparison with you and someone else that they know nothing about. You're supposed to simply accept that and sit down, be ready to be taught, be ready for your lesson. You can just talk to men, right? Or you can choose a man in your dating process that is open to be criticized. You can have those conversations and where you have the discussion of how can I broach difficult subjects with you. Everyone has a method that it resonates more with them than it doesn't. If I give you a strategy in which to talk to me, in which I like to have things discussed about me, and I tell you, I don't like confrontation. I don't like being confronted with 2 weeks of information. I don't like saying, yeah, but you did this and then this and then this. When I asked you what was wrong before, I gave you that lane in which to talk to me. If something is bothering you, you can talk to me right then and there. Or you can just say, something is bothering me. I need a little bit more time to put it together for you. All fine. When you decide, this is how I'm deciding to talk to you, I'm going to compare you to someone else. I don't really care anything that comes after that. Not because your comparison isn't valid, because it's so steamed in disrespect. You can find easier ways. So you demand those things of men all the time. We have to talk to you softly. We have to sugarcoat things. We have to avoid the bluntness of what a lot of our emotions demand. It's not a comparison. It's not a teaching thing. It's just saying, hey, this is how we talk. This is how we communicate. If you would like me to do it in a better manner, we can have that conversation. But understand, that's the bounds in which how we communicate. You decide you want to try something else and say, that person does that. And the minute I do the same, now it's because I'm physically attracted or there's attraction to that person. Rules for, rules for thee, not for me. At a certain point, men just say, listen, do same with the squeeze. Don't worry about it, right? Don't worry about it. We don't have to get married. No, don't worry about it. This puts men in such a precarious position in terms of getting married, because now it becomes difficult to extricate myself from this scenario. And that's the best strategy you have as a man. Just saying, okay, cool. I'm not playing these games with you. I'm going to withdraw my attention. This has been fun. This has been real. I'm going to go that way. Once you get married, you can't just say, I'm going to go that way. Now you've got years of paperwork on top of that. If you disagree, let me know down in the comments below. We see other videos on the screen. Check those out. Let me know your thoughts about those and those videos. Of course, if you listen to Sound My Voice now, you have not subscribed, I think you should. Just trying to build something dope. See you in the next one.